ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of your show. That's right, it's the Kickout Clue, exclusively on Premier Streaming Network. We want to thank everybody for the positive feedback of last week's episode, and hope everybody got a chance to listen to it. And to our new fans, you can check out our old episodes in the archives, and you can also watch the YouTube clips on YouTube, because moving forward, you may not be so lucky, but you will be lucky enough to watch them on Premier Streaming Network. Your show on Premier. How about that, huh? Look at us. Well, you can follow us on Twitter. That is at Kickout Crew. You can like us on Facebook. We have a Kickout Crew podcast on the Instagram. And TikTok is Kickout Crew. Just search for that. You'll pretty much find us. I mean, hey, it's your show. That being said, I want to welcome everyone to another fantastic episode. Boy, golly, I'm pumped up. Some would say this could be a gold medal episode. But that's enough of me rambling. I'm going to kick it out to the crew. So, Brad, what you got for us this week?
I got a lot. So, obviously, I have a key to the house, right? The house I live in.
I would assume.
Hopefully.
Lotus and my wife went to Penn State last Monday, and we didn't have anybody to take the dogs out. So she gave my key to the girl Steph up the street so that she can get in the house and let the dogs in and out. And I said, well, why my key? Like, well, because we're going to be here, this and this, and we need to have our key. I'm like, fine. So a day goes by. Another day goes by. Third day goes by. I can't get in the house, okay, because I still don't have a freaking key. So I'm like, hon, I need the key. She's like, let me in. So she's working. She's on her work phone back and forth, acting like I'm really annoying her. Okay. I'm like, listen, you're the one that took the key from me. So she lets me in. Fine. I forget all about it again. So then I leave again. I come back, and again, my son locks the door when he leaves, and the door's locked, and I can't get in again. I'm like, hon, where's the key? She goes, I'm going to make you one. I'm like, what do you mean you're going to make me one? She goes, well, Steph has to have the key. I'm like, why does Steph have to have the key? Because she lets the dogs in and out. And Lotus is like, she's done it twice. And I'm like, why does Steph have a key to the house and the guy that owns the house doesn't have a key? She's like, I'm going to have one made for you. So fine, whatever. So she still hasn't had one made for me as of a few days ago. And then we're in the car, and Frank says, well, I have an extra key. She says, well, all right, cool. All right, good. She goes, yeah, remember, because you said this, and this, that I have an extra key, and I'll give it to Dad. She goes, okay, go ahead and give it to him. He goes, well, I don't have it. She goes, why not? He goes, I left it at my friend's house, and I slept over. Like, great fucking story, Frank. Like, so finally I get a key to my own house. I'm just saying it was 10 days. And first off, this whole thing with Frank leaving the key, like acting like he had the key for me, and he's not even there. It's just driving me up a freaking wall. Second thing about Deb this week, and I know you guys are all my Facebook friends, but many of you out there aren't. She actually literally said this. She had on a tank shirt, look great, shorts and sandals, and says to me, do I look good enough to go to Walmart? I'm like, well, you don't have pajama bottoms on and you have a bra on, so right off the bat, you're all set. Good enough to go to Walmart. Have you been to Walmart? I know I've been to my Walmart, and everybody looks like a freak there. So yeah, you look good enough to go to Walmart. Maybe, actually, you maybe look too good to go to Walmart. All right. Penske truck.
You should see the Walmart down here in the South.
It's pretty bad here too, man. I'm telling you, it's pretty bad.
Like, I definitely got that question before too, and I'm like, as long as you don't have pajamas on, we're good.
Actually, if you have pajamas on, you fit right in.
Yeah.
So then there's this Penske truck in front of me. I'm on my way to work, and there's a Penske truck in front of me, and the back door whips open, right? The back of the truck to get into the. All right. So the guy has to, and there's stuff in there. So the guy gets out. Now we're at a red light. The guy gets out to close it. I'll tell you, you live in an asshole town, Philadelphia. When people are laying on the horn, like you would not believe, this guy just has to do this. Can you leave him alone? So you see the door is up. I'm sorry if you're going to be an extra 2 minutes late to work, but this guy has to close the door. Stop being an asshole. If it was you and your car stalled out or your trunk went up, I would expect the same thing. Finally, life is made of moments. And I know that you guys do not necessarily like baseball except for Devyn, but I have to give a shout out for the Philadelphia Phillies last night. Michael Lorenzen throwing a no-hitter. And Weston Wilson. Okay, now Weston Wilson is a 28-year-old that just had his first major league at bat in the major leagues. He was a minor league baseball till he was 28 years old, and he hit a home run on his first at bat. Life is made of moments, and it's just forget the Phillies, forget all that. I know I'm a fan, but it was A very special night for them for that reason.
It was
So,
cool watching his dad like lose his shit. That was pretty cool. I'll give
you
that.
know, 28 years old, you're gonna have Bull Durham stage of your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Is it gonna happen type of thing?
Yeah. Like like what's his name? He said, I have I'm coming up on the most home runs in the minor leagues, which is kind of a dubious distinction, he said. But it's good to see him get his moment like that. So yeah, I did have a lot this week. All right, one more thing. So I'm watching this show. I'm watching this show called Based on a True Story. It's on Peacock. And it's the girl from Big Bang Theory, Penny. And she's married to a guy. And they find out that their plumber is a serial killer. All right. So they're broke. So the whole idea is they proposition him to have a podcast, and the serial killer is going to be on the podcast. All, like that. So they're actually literally have the actual serial killer on their podcast. Now, there's another show it's called The West Side Ripper is the name of the killer, that a podcast that is basically like The View meets The West Side Ripper, and these two ladies talk about the West Side Ripper. Well, it's just funny in life that the two ladies that don't have the West Side Ripper on the show have 500 million views, and they have 13. I guess it's all about who you know and presentation, isn't it? Good to be on the premier streaming network. Back to you,
There
James.
it is. I like that, Brad. That was good, epic stuff. Shout out to the guy for the Phillies throwing that in Vans cleats too. Thought that was pretty awesome. So, man. Kelly Cacao. I don't know how to say her last name. Is that her name?
Yeah, I know you. Kelly Cuccio, right? I don't remember.
I have no idea how to say it.
I should know.
She's the blonde neighbor, right? That one of them married.
Yeah. Very
Well,
good.
people who don't know it, not everybody watches the show.
Yeah, but you do know.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you know.
I do know.
All right. Well, thanks, Brad. Glad to see, glad to hear. And hey, welcome to having the second replacement key to your own house.
Yeah. It's funny because I have the key to Brad's house, but Brad don't.
Gotta go feed the dogs, man. Oh boy. Nice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know what's coming up next. It's Devyn. So Devyn, let's keep this ball rolling, huh? What you got for us?
It's Devyn. That's rare. Normally it's Mike in this spot. So
There's always Brad first, though.
Always Brad first. I don't have a big rant on a bunch of stuff like Brad did, but I do think this is kind of connective to our topic of the day. So this is wrestlers and people in the wrestling atmospheres, personnels, and careers before they were actually in the business. So I just have a few of them that I jotted down. Michael Cole, who's the broadcast analyst on Monday Night Raw now, the head commentator. He used to be a reporter and journalist for CBS. I don't know if any of you guys knew that.
I think I did, but I don't remember.
Sheamus, he was a bodyguard for the band U2 in Bono. Trendy Fatu, she was a backup dancer for Flo Rida.
I did know that.
Flo Rida?
Flo Rida. That's how I learned how to spell Florida.
And Trinity Fatu is married to Jay Uso. Or Jimmy.
Jimmy, not Jay.
I got it.
Just because they look alike, I mean, you get the name
They're
wrong.
identical twins. I'm sure she screwed it up before.
Trish Stratus used to be a gym receptionist before she joined the WWE.
That's a hell of a gym. I'd buy a membership there. Aren't we supposed to be giving commentary?
This one I thought was fun. Back in the day, Paul Bearer was actually a funeral director.
No
and
kidding.
You can find out about that in the archives.
A lot of the archives.
Yeah.
All right, the final two I have for us today. Kofi Kingston used to work in the advertising department at Staples.
I did not know that one.
No, I'm pretty sure most of the world didn't.
And John Cena.
They're back too.
John Cena, the biggest one could possibly be the biggest superstar today. Back before it all, he was a limo driver.
Did you know John Cena lived in his car
It
in
was a limo.
California before he wrestled?
It might have been the limo.
No, it was like a Lincoln Continental, and
Yeah.
it's close to limo.
Yeah.
But
that's a limo.
no, if he done, I don't know if y'all know, there's a TV show on Peacock. It's called Heart to Heart, and Kevin Hart does interviews with different guys, and he does an interview with John Cena, and John Cena talks about stuff that he really hasn't talked about a lot on different interviews. Man, it's actually pretty interesting on what John Cena talks about, because I didn't know he lived in his car, and he did it because he wanted to, not because he had to. He'd always go back home to Boston or whatever, and back to Massachusetts. His parents told him, "You can come back home anytime." He says, "No, I put my heart and soul into this," because he wanted to. He originally didn't want to be a wrestler. He wanted to. Yeah, he got his degree in working out. What, I don't know the exact degree he got, but it had to do with working out, basically.
Got my degree in curls.
No, it was like taking care of your body and stuff like that. So he was working at I want to say Gold's Gym, where he ran into The Rock, and he was about to join the Army the next weekend, but a friend of his asked him to go to an event, and when his buddy asked him to go to watch the show, that's when he got interested back into wrestling. So we almost didn't have a John Cena because he almost went into the Army.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting what they talk about, man. You can check it out. It's on Peacock.
Heart to Heart.
He'd have been a good prototype in the Army.
Oh, dynamite drop in, James.
And it's a good interview, really. I think you'll really like it.
That's probably why his persona was so like dedicated towards the military.
He was a military
Honestly.
guy. For the troops and all that, he always did a good job.
Yeah.
Come on, give us one more, Devin, right off the top of your head. Who was a porn star? Anybody?
Not that I
The
know.
Attitude Era? You know, like,
Tell me about
Maybe
the
Val
Godfather's
Venus.
hose. Tell me about the hose.
Before Victoria was a pro wrestler, she was one of the hoes.
There we go. All right, good job. Always end on a ho note.
Back to you, James.
oh, that was great. Well, I think gold medal stuff right there, Brad. And I think that goes well with today's agenda, you know, because seems well, it just seems some may place, but at least you made the race, you know. That being said, what is today's agenda, Brad?
Well, today's agenda is gold medalists' first match in the WWE. So we have, who are they? Can I name them? We're not going to name the match, right? I don't want to take your thunder away, James.
I don't even
Well,
know
anyway,
who you're
let's
talking
just go
about.
with
Who
this.
are the gold medalists in WWE?
You suck.
Dun, dun.
You suck. And we don't have really a theme for the other one yet, do we?
Yeah, I can't remember what it
So
was, actually.
we're going to be talking about Kurt Angle and Gable Steveson today, Devin. Thank you for the correction last week, pal.
Oh, no problem.
I mean, his name should be Stevenson, but that's cool.
Well, you know, just tell his family, his whole lineage, missed it in.
Take the N out. Back to
Yeah.
That's today's agenda.
Gold medal stuff, Brad.
Yeah, that was a terrible way to deliver it, but I did it. I sure as hell did it.
Hey, at least you're on the podium. You know what I'm saying? Well, I guess what better thing is to jump right in to match number one. And what is match number one? Well, I'm glad you asked. It is Kurt Angle versus Shawn Stasiak from Survivor Series 1999. It took place November 14th of 1999 at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan. It had an attendance of 18,735. It had a buy rate of 448,000. Had a match length of 5 minutes and 56 seconds. And Dave Meltzer, ya boy, gave this one 1.5 stars. But that's enough about that. Quick bio, Devin. No, but hey, how did we get here?
So, it all started back when Kurt Angle was born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He became a high school wrestling champion, and then a 2-time national wrestling champion, a 3-time NCAA All-American, a 5-time USA freestyle champion. He was a 1995 amateur wrestling champion, and then eventually the 1996 freestyle wrestling Olympics gold medalist with a broken freaking neck. Shortly after that, Kurt would kind of be looking to see what he was going to do next, and someone gave his attention towards wrestling. So he talked to Shane Douglas and went and checked out ECW on August 26, 1926. Kurt was invited to the ECW show, and he was so disgusted by something that happened that night that, yeah, he just didn't want to be on the show, didn't want anything involved with ECW, immediately wanted to just be away from the product. Shortly after that, real short after that, he actually had a meeting with Vince McMahon, and he told Vince everything that he thought about wrestling, and said that he would be willing to join the WWE, but he wanted to be completely undefeated his entire career. Vince and Bruce Pritchard said that's not plausible, Kurt. So Kurt went on his way. About a year and a half later, Kurt would come back to Vince and be in talks again, where he would sign an 8-year deal and immediately would be sent to the Funkin' Dojo to train with Dory Funk and Tom Pritchard. In just under a year, he would make his WWE debut.
So did you have more? I'm sorry.
No, I locked up with Tom Pritchard before.
Yeah, well, we all know, Adam. Yeah, freaking first in line, best of all. Yeah, we got it, pal.
You can check that out in the archives.
Oh, because we're going to talk about it every single week, aren't we?
I'd skip go every other week.
So we always give a cheap plug to ad-free shows, and I wanted to say that as the top guy, there are some perks to that, and I actually got to talk to Kurt Angle I've talked to him on many Zooms. Just, we have a Zooms, and then, you each get to talk for a few minutes. I actually talked to him on the phone. And you would think that is, and Kurt Angle is a rigid guy. Like he has a plan. He's going to do it. He has a time limit on everything. But we talked on the phone. I'll tell you what, it was pretty, it was good because he actually got a little personal, and he is a good dude. So, shout out to Kurt Angle. I was really surprised at that phone call. So let's talk about the match, huh?
Hell yeah.
So James, they showed vignettes before. Did you get a chance to see the vignettes? And did you think it was heelish?
For Kurt?
Yeah, for Kurt. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't think so at all. I kind of thought that they were. Well, here's the thing. I mainly remember the Stasiak one because they talked about his Diddy, dad, and all that stuff. And then I don't know. I mean, I will say for the magnitude of this pay-per-view at the time, they tried. They tried to make this like a big time deal. I'll give them that.
But the idea was for him to be a heel. Would he have been a heel with these vignettes 10 years before?
Oh, shoot. No.
Right.
And I think it would have been, he would have been, if he would have came in instead of this Lex Express thing, whole different ball game,
And I don't think you got to change any of the verbiage. I think that it's just a different time, and people took things differently and booed that kind of guy, which is crazy, right?
Counterculture was big then. We were told what to think and all that stuff. So when you're continuously told that, of course, you're going to get that rebel spirit.
So we have Shawn Stasiak here. If you're watching on the video, we hope you are. He's having his entrance. Adam, did he have all the tools?
Oh, yeah, because he's second generation. Shoot, yeah. That heart punch, I was hoping he'd bring out that heart punch, but we didn't get to see it, I don't think.
So I got more for you, Adam. Kurt Angle's entrance now. He's announced by Howard Finkel. And Mike, what did you think about the phrase real athlete? I'm sorry, Adam.
Yeah, you said Adam, then Mike. That's hilarious.
Yeah, well, because Mike is written down here. I am very rigid as well.
And so, I mean, that was kind of like, I think that was added in by Vince McMahon to kind of get added to the heel part, the heel persona. Because when you hear that, you're like, oh, okay, well, athlete, you're calling us fake athletes?
Right.
I think it's kind of like a dig to everybody else.
I agree completely. And I just want to know as a wrestling purist, what you thought of that.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely, bullshit. Talk about a real athlete, okay.
Yeah, I agree, because they're all athletes. Just because the finish is predetermined doesn't make you less of an athlete, right?
Exactly.
I mean, we saw that when you went into the ring first.
Exactly. I have to tell y'all what to do.
Boy, I'm so glad I asked you this question now. What was I asking Mike for anyway, huh?
Exactly.
Devyn, what'd you think of the crowd reaction to Kurt?
The crowd immediately didn't want anything to do with Kurt Angle. Not at all. They they were booing him on his way down to the ring.
I got another question for you, Devyn. How many days after your second birthday is this? Freaking jackass.
This is 3 days after my second birthday.
That was literally in his notes. I try to look back at these notes. Great. James,
It was
by the way.
12 days before my birthday. What's up?
Yeah, well, all right. James, who are the announcers?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Brad. The announcers are one of the best teams of all time. It is good old JR and Jerry, the King Lawler.
Fantastic. Man, we've heard that dynamic duo a bunch of times.
Hey, they're great.
Definitely great. Fireman Carey takeover by Angle. Kurt in control early. Waistlock takedown by Angle into the face lock. Adam, how do you like the amateur wrestling here, the mat wrestling?
He's just showing out right now is all he's doing. I like it. I love the front transition and everything right there. I like it. I'm a big time mat wrestler type person. I like it.
Could Daniel Bryan have fit into this as a third man?
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Stasiak armbar, body slam by Angle, another fireman carry. King actually says here, James, the Angle isn't into sports entertainment aspect of wrestling, but we know that's not true, right?
Oh, well, definitely moving forward. Especially on a lot of podcasts that you hear, they talk about how he could be like the baddest ass heel or like a hilarious baby face, So I think the sports entertainment aspect came very nice to him,
Yeah, definitely. Devyn, why was Stasiak the right guy for this first match?
Oh, Shawn Stasiak, the second generation wrestler. He just knows all the ropes, he was very technical. He knew how to be a basic wrestler. I just think Stasiak really lacked it in the charismatic department.
Did you
he was
know?
Never able.
I don't know if you guys listened to the Kurt Angle show. Did you know that the reason Stasiak didn't get a bigger push is he had to take time off for the hair implants? That's what Angle said on his show. As a former hair club for men member, I can relate. Power to you, Shawn. Power to you, man. Do what you got to do.
At least it worked for him.
By the way, it looks fantastic, pal. Mine looked like a raccoon.
And you can hear about that on episode 1, and that's the only good thing on episode 1 in our archives.
Just listen to us talk about it in episode 3. You don't even need to listen to the one.
Getting back to the match, I think it was ridiculous that right about this time, they're doing so many transitions and moves right here in the ring. The crowd is just erupting with a boring chant.
That was funny, Devyn, because I was just about to ask you, did the crowd give too much time before starting to say boring?
Yeah. They didn't wait any time at all.
They did two separate Detroit Red Wings chants.
It was 30 seconds into the match just hollering out boring.
James, it's funny you say that, though, because and I know you don't like the Eagles, but my goodness, we cannot go through anything without the EAGLES Eagle. Dude, you can't do anything. It happened at MLW. Like freaking Alex Kane winning the championship. I'm like, God, you guys, I love the Eagles, but you guys are jackasses.
Alex Kane, you can check him out in our archives also.
I'm in trouble on that one, my friend. All right, so Stasiak in control, stomping Angle, snap suplex by Stasiak, reverse elbow by Stasiak, reverse headlock by Stasiak, clothesline by Angle. Angle on the microphone now says, "You do not boo a gold medalist." Knowing him now, James, is this exactly what he ends up being?
It is kind of funny how that took on its own little life, and that's kind of what got him going pretty good as like that heel guy is, I won it with a broken freaking neck. And, the gold medal thing, I think was a good way to get him going as a heel.
Speaking of heels, I'm going to be a heel here, Adam.
Oh.
There is a headlock by Stasiak. And Adam, I hate to say this because I do not look for this stuff, but did you see Stasiak talking to Angle in this moment?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay,
Hey-o.
well, let's give them a break and say this is both of their first matches, right?
It was terrible.
I mean, if I'm
It was
seeing it,
really bad.
if I'm seeing it, it's bad because I honestly try not to see it.
Shout out to that
again,
ref.
But but again, let's. There he is, Mike Chioda. Shout out. Devyn's favorite show, right? Even including this one. So
second favorite.
But I will say this. It is their first match together, so I give a pass. And how is Angle selling here, Devyn?
Real quick, you know who I don't give a pass to on talking in the ring? Last week, when you could hear Nick Jackson completely talking to Jeff Hardy. Keep going. We want a 5-star match.
You know
They're
what? That
both
could have
laid
been,
out
that
in the
could have
middle
been a
of the
play.
ring.
They could have been playing us.
Is that it? Yeah.
They could have been playing us with the whole Meltzer thing. I mean, their move is called the Meltzer driver, right?
That's fair. They played me then.
So
But
anyway,
what was
how's
your
the
question?
selling?
I'm sorry.
How's the selling? It's one of your questions.
Kurt was immediately good at selling, I thought. He was overselling quite a bit, but he was selling everything.
Who
He
mainly
knew,
helped him through this match, though?
I think it was Chioda. You see the little headlock there, and when they go into the corner, there's another point. Chioda goes in, he's checking on them both. He's clearly saying something to each of the guys, saying this is what you need to do, where you need to go next.
Well, and he does have the IFB. Speaking of that, IRFB on Premier Streaming Network with Chioda and Efren. That may be something worth checking out also on Premier Streaming Network.
Shout out to Efren for definitely taking a different approach to my Chioda on this. Very good indeed. Shoulder block by Stasiak, roll up by Angle, power slam by Angle, F5 to Angle, right, James?
I'll be damned.
It looked like one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's throw it out there. Misses
I will
off the
say,
top.
there is a part, it's around this move where fucking Jerry is saying, Kurt Angle, he knows one thing, and it's toughness. And he knows, blah, blah, blah. And he just lists out 10 things right after being he knows one thing. And then just goes down a laundry list of shit. I thought that was funny.
So look at this. I love this this shot right here that Bryant put up. Stasiak is going off the top. Where the hell is Kurt?
Gone.
He's nowhere near it, right?
Yeah, he's doing a small thing and running away.
Holy cow. I mean, how much can you miss by, right? So obviously Stasiak misses by a lot off the top rope. Olympic slam. At the time it was called the Olympic slam by Kurt Angle for the 1, 2, 3 win. But I got another issue, Devyn.
Uh-oh.
How quickly was Stasiak standing up after this pin?
Immediately after the count.
Yeah, within 5 seconds. Yep.
Stasiak standing behind Kurt Angle.
While his hands are raised, correct?
Yeah, literally while Chioda's raising up Kurt's hands, it was just kind of what are you doing? Stay on the mat. Sell. Kurt was overselling. Stasiak wasn't even selling.
I mean, listen, again, I like both these guys. Obviously, huge Kurt Angle fan. Clarion University is only about 30 miles from where I grew up. And but I mean, it's their first match, so I give him a pass. But yeah, he stood up real quick. I can't imagine what Dr. Tom was thinking in that situation. Anyway, that is it for the match.
Damn.
It was fun for what it was. It was a first match for both of them, and he was off and running. And obviously, Kurt Angle had a few good matches after that.
Well, it was Stasiak's first pay-per-view match.
Stasiak's first pay-per-view. Okay, so it wasn't his first match. Okay, got it.
No, he had a couple matches already, but
Okay. Well, back to you, James.
All righty.
Love being wrong.
It's okay.
I got Adam here to make sure.
Well, I guess we're gonna go right back to Adam. So let's
Thanks,
keep
Mike.
keep the good times rolling with Adam. So Adam, what you got for us this week?
All right, so let's see here. Just all I want to talk about is my referee in here lately, because Well, the first week I did it, I had 1 match. Second week, 1 match. Third week, 5 matches.
Damn.
I did a Hell in a Cell match, or a cage match. I got to do a street fight. I got to do a ladder match, and then 2 regular matches. And let me tell you something. That street fight, Donnie Primetime, he got beat. Yes. Thank you, Brendan, for beating Primetime. You'll get to see that on YouTube coming up. Spoiler alert, he whooped that ass. But there was thumbtacks and everything. I still got thumbtacks in my shoes. I didn't even take
love
them
that
out.
you had to do that. I love that you had to do that because I know how you feel about those matches.
I hate those stupid matches.
No, when you counted, I know I'm interrupting you, but I have to know. When you counted, you have the gloves on?
No gloves.
So did you get some tacks in your hand too?
I got a couple in my arm, my left arm. But yeah, they're not gimmick thumbtacks either. They're the real damn thing. I'll pull them on my shoe and show you.
You did. You sent us pictures.
Well, I sent you the bottom of it. I didn't show you the whole thumbtack.
I believed you.
I promise you, they hurt. It was funny because Donnie wanted me to slide something over, and I was messing with him. So I started moving the thumbtacks out of the ring. He goes, "No, not the thumbtacks, you dumbass." It was so good. I mean, it popped. I started laughing. I'm glad.
If that's on
you
YouTube,
probably
I'll clip
see
it.
me. You can probably see me laughing. But like I said, well, I don't know if it'll be out by the time this drops or not. But we have a new South champion. Yeah.
Do you want to name that person?
No,
No.
because it may not be out yet. Right?
Gotcha.
No.
I got you. Well, yeah. Thanks for bringing it up at all.
Well,
It
yeah,
was
I
a
mean,
triple threat.
It was a triple threat match, and like I said, it was a nice cage match. I think Dylan McQueen finally got his comeuppance against whoever he fought, I guess.
Oh, way to keep it under wraps.
Yeah, I was keeping it under wraps. There you go. Let's just say a 2-year storyline come to a head, and it was good to see.
Hey, I want to add something to your segment because we do have a little extra time because Mike isn't here right now. How is Cabana Man Dan doing?
Oh, luckily no surgery. He did hurt his calf, and I felt so bad for him because he was just getting ready for his match. He was just outside walking, and he just felt something in his leg, and he couldn't even walk on it. It was real bad.
Obviously, I've seen the pictures of him in a wheelchair. He's talking about being a manager temporarily. How long is he planning on being out?
Well, I think the wheelchair was a
Oh, okay.
I think that was just a Photoshop picture.
Kayfabe, bitch. I mean,
Yeah, you
But
got
he
Sean
is-
Ross Stanton on the. So how long is he
But-
out? What happened?
But he is in a boot, though. He is in a boot. I mean, so I think what you saw was him riding around Walmart in that damn electric. He's probably an electric wheelchair, knowing him.
I don't know if he would look good enough to be there. To call back to earlier
Hey,
episode.
that's called a callback.
No, he had his clothes on so he could go in around here. He wasn't in his underwear or his bathing suit, so he's good.
Still can't get
Flip-flop
past
shopping.
But I mean, he was going to have a good match with James's favorite, Orlando Perez.
Friend of the show.
I cannot wait. Can't wait for that episode. I cannot wait.
Friend
I'm
of the show.
I'm working on that one.
I mean, what else do you have to do?
I mean, he is an NWA, you know.
Speaking of NWA, shout out Thrill Billy.
Yeah,
Billy.
see,
Shout out to
Thrill Billy,
Angry
I'll cheer for
Lemonade.
Thrill Billy. Didn't he catch old Jackass McGee and slam him that one time? Caught him off the top rope.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
then, of course, AJ Kazan, I believe, did the same thing. Another alumnus of the Kickout Crew. Jared Fritz probably counted it. Another alumnus of the Kickout Crew. Hey, it is your show.
So we got another show coming up. It'll be already happened by the time this drops, but August 11th it'll be in Woodville at the Woodville High School.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. All right, so it'll be on YouTube though.
It may have happened before this drops.
That is the story of that is us in a nutshell.
Yeah, but
Everything
it'll be on
happens after
YouTube.
that drops.
It'll be on YouTube by the time this comes out. It should be coming
SummerSlam,
out
right?
after. I don't know SummerSlam. But something I did get to do though, I did get to referee Brandon Williams and Tyler Franks. I got to do their best of 7, their last match, their 7th match, and it was awesome. Man, just sitting back and watching these two guys just do their thing. I mean, they're professionals. I know Tyler's fairly young in the business, but I mean, Brandon Williams. I mean, all 7 matches are great, but I just felt great being a part of that last one. I mean, there's just 2 professional guys that just did their thing, man. I just enjoyed being a part of it, so I'm having a good time. I mean, just check us out on New South on YouTube every Tuesday. We got new stuff coming out.
Perfect. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Adam.
Having a good time, though. I'm loving it. I'm glad I got to get back in it.
Thanks, Adam. I'm glad to hear things are counting on through for you. I tried. But all right. Well, hey, speaking of wrestling and stuff like that, kind of going a little detour on this one. So I was watching the news at lunch today, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers kind of opened up their practice to a bunch of special needs children and all that, and adults and children and everything. Kind of had them have their own like day, and it kind of got me thinking, like, man, wrestling does like a lot of philanthropy that people make fun of wrestling and wrestling fans and all that stuff, but they really do a hell of a lot for the community and special needs people and everything like that. And I don't think people really give it the respect that it deserves. Like, yeah, they'll be like, oh, it's fake, right? It's fake. Well, there ain't nothing fake about like giving some person with special needs or a disability their own day. Like, there ain't nothing fake about that. And the people that make fun of wrestling fans and all that probably have their favorite acts or whatever, probably don't do philanthropy like that. And I mean, it's work. You take time out of your day to do this and provide that person with a good memory. You know what I'm saying? Because let's face it, they probably get made fun of and said horrible things to them on damn near a daily basis. So to have them have their day, and maybe they can be a gold medal champion, you know what I'm saying? Let them have their moment. That's a type of memory that will stick with them forever, because people are really rude to the special needs and stuff like that. It happens. And so the fact that they can just escape it and, have a special day. And I think wrestling does probably the best at that. And it's kind of one of those unsung things that people never really talk about. I mean, look at the Make-A-Wishes for Cena, he didn't even want that public, but they were like, hey, man, we got to say something. You're here like doing this all the time. So I just wanted to point out, like, it's really cool. And you see the joy on their faces having that moment. And that's the joy of our faces watching, wrestling in the crowd and seeing good stuff on TV. It's just cool that they go out of their way, provide a philanthropy, a lot of, donations and money, and help raise stuff to, help the conditions and everything. And I think that's something that just gets overlooked all the time. And I wanted to point out, like, shout out to wrestling for usually going above and beyond when it comes to that type of stuff. And that is the spirit of being the best in the South, baby.
Excellent. Thank you for that.
Yeah. That's a great PSA.
Absolutely.
Shout out wrestling, man. When it's awesome. Like, it just really is awesome.
And shout out to the Bucks for that.
Yep. Yeah, AEW has their own like humanitarian like division thing. So it's really cool. I like it. Wrestling, baby. It's the best. Well, speaking of the best, are we going to go with another gold medal match right here? I think it's time. And what match is that? Boy, I'm glad you asked, because it's a recent one. And it's something else. It is. Ta-dun. Oh, hold on. It is Baron Corbin versus Gable Steveson from this most recent Great American Bash, NXT Great American Bash. It took place July 30th of 2023 at the HEB Center at Cedar Park in Austin, Texas. Hook 'em, baby. That's what I'm saying. Shout out Austin. The eyes of Texas are upon you, but hook 'em. Sorry. It had an attendance of supposedly 4,100. Nothing's really confirmed. It had a match length of 6.5 minutes. And Meltzer gave this 1.5 stars, the same as the last one. But that's enough about that. Hey, Devyn, how did we get there?
So, it would all start back when Gable Dan Steveson was born in Apple Valley, Minnesota. His idol was Dan Gable. who was one of the greatest wrestlers and one of the greatest wrestling coaches of all time, a legendary coach at Iowa. So, Gable Steveson and his two older brothers, they were all three of them were wrestlers for their high school and stuff. His in-life idol was his oldest brother. Unfortunately, when he was very young, his oldest brother passed away. So he put a lot of his matches and a lot of his dedication into passion for his oldest brother. So when Gable was in high school, he was a junior and senior state champion in the 126 kilogram weight class. Gable would then go to college and wrestle alongside his older brother. Gable, in his freshman year, would start becoming cocky and arrogant and think that he's great. And that really made him hit a brick wall. It was a big, a slap in the face of reality, because in his freshman year, he had 3 or 4 losses and did not place in the finals. But Gable would kind of take that determination, put it on the mat, and put it into work, where he would then go on to win the championship in his sophomore, junior, and senior year. And senior year, he would also go on to Tokyo 2020 and win gold. It would be a last-second victory for him, as he would be down by 3 points with 24 seconds left, and he would score 2 points quickly, and then with 6 seconds left, he had an opportunity to score, and with 0.8 seconds left on the entire clock, he scored those 2 points and captured gold for Team USA.
You know, I don't agree at all with Meltzer's rating here. Now, I understand that people are going to be upset with the way this ends, but I really think he is way off base on this one. And I don't really argue with him much, because we're all just opinionated, right? But let's go through it. James, I'm going to ask this once, because obviously there's going to be people are going to question it. Is there any? They chose Baron for a reason, but if there was anybody else, who would you have picked for his first match, Gable Stevenson's first match?
Well, do you think I'll answer your question. This is just me being but hey, Baron retired Kurt. Now he's bringing in Gable. Crazy, right? But
good point. Good point.
I do want to say, let's see, who else would be good? I mean, you want to say like Dolph Ziggler or something like that, but this is NXT, so I think Baron, boy, this doesn't really mean as demeaning as it sounds, but it's an NXT NXT good shower, I guess, the X-Pac test or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like he's a good person to use to do this match with. I don't really watch NXT, so because you got to remember this is on the NXT brand. Now, if this is on a WWE pay-per-view, maybe you get Ziggler or somebody. But for the NXT brand, Corbin's Corbin's a good choice.
Honestly, Corbin's not an NXT wrestler, though. I mean, he's back there now, but Dolph Ziggler was there 3 months, 6 months ago.
Yeah, hell, Bobby Roode went back, with him. Like,
yeah, put over.
Hell, the New Day won the NXT tag titles not that long ago.
They go back, and for this reason, for the right rub,
Yep.
Adam, are you there, buddy? Okay, good.
Yeah. I'm checking out some photos.
Usually you put up a graphic by now, and you have to go handle your cable bill or something like that. So I just wanted to make sure.
That's automatic. This ain't cable bill.
So Baron Corbin's entrance. What does all this mean? And why is the ship on fire?
Okay. Here we go. So 2 weeks ago, after the bell with Corey Graves, Corey Graves interviews Baron Corbin about how he's doing in NXT and how he's feeling about having to go down there. And he said he didn't have to. He wanted to. He wanted to go down there because he needed a new direction. All this Happy Corbin, all this stuff with everything going on SmackDown. He wanted like a new beginning. And so there's an old saying, from the Vikings. If they go take over a new land, and they want to stay there, what they'll do is they'll burn the ships, burn everything. That way, there's no going back home or going back to another land. This is them taking it over. So it's like a new beginning. So this is like what Baron Corbin did. He literally took it to heart what Corey Graves said to him, and he took it to heart and said, "All right, I'm just going to go with that." So that's literally what he's doing. He's burning everything from his past, getting rid of everything. Is a whole new beginning for him. Whole new direction.
I mean, does the casual fan listen to podcasts, Adam?
I mean, I don't know if that's the only place he talked about it. I just know that's where I heard it.
This is just a callback from last week.
Yeah.
I just thought.
Home ass Corbin. I just remember McAfee screaming that like 3 weeks straight before their match.
So, Devyn, I have a 3-part question for you. We have Steveson's entrance. I still want to say Stevenson. I'm sorry. Steveson's entrance. How is his presentation different from Angle's? What do you think of the hype entrance? And does this have a big fight feel?
Well, Steveson actually has his gold medal, for one. Like, Kurt Angle didn't have his medal in his entrance. Yeah, to me, it has a big fight feel just for the aspect of it being his first match, and everyone's kind of bringing it into, like, it's this wrestler, amateur wrestler, this gold medalist, Olympian, the champion, first actual wrestling match. So there was a lot of eyes on it, and a lot of people anticipating what was going to happen.
I'm not done with you now, because now I have more questions. Now, obviously, we know how this match goes and how the crowd reacts. We're going to get to that. But is he coming off as a heel coming out, or is he coming off as a babyface? We know Kurt was coming off as a heel.
Well, he's supposed to be a babyface.
Okay, that's it. Thank you. That's all I wanted. James,
I want to add in on the.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, because you were saying like it feels like a big fight feel and all that thing. Is that because of like the advancement of the video board and like smoke and lights and stuff like that?
I totally think that. Yes.
Because Kurt Angle just walked through like that ring thing. It was just like, here we go.
And again, it's 24 years ago.
Yeah,
it's a different time.
That's what I'm saying. Like with the advancements in the technology, is that why it felt big fight?
Both of them are kind of like the same level on the card as well. Like it's like around the middle of the pay-per-view. Like, yeah, so maybe that is right. Maybe it's just all the hoopla in 2023 that we have now.
Because you can make, look at that screenshot right there. Like it looks fucking awesome.
So it does.
I think that gave it the big fight feel, was the graphics and everything like that.
Loved it. All right. You guys are gonna see me like I am not happy with Meltzer. Anyway, James, who are the announcers?
Well, I'm glad you asked. It is our boy Booker T, love him, and Vic Joseph.
Yeah, Vic Joseph. We don't talk about him much on the show. He's really good down in the NXT. So we have Gable smiling, trying to intimidate Corbin. Okay, Adam. So let's get into it. What's with the "Let's Go Corbin" chants early? In all the years, no one has ever once cheered for Corbin.
I'm thinking it has to do with because everybody used to boo Kurt Angle being the gold medalist. Him coming out as an arrogant gold medalist, I think they're just going with tradition. Let's just boo the gold medalist. They think they're better than everybody.
Man, I don't know. We're going to get into more of it. All right. So Corbin on the attack, very aggressive. Gable on the offense now. Corbin on the outside. Steveson's ankle lock on Corbin. German suplex on the outside to Corbin. Devyn, did you think this was an odd start?
Yeah, kind of. I was kind of expecting them to like Gable to try and bring him down to the mat and wrestle him around that way, and not like kind of like we saw in the Kurt Angle Shawn Stasiak match, honestly.
And I guess what I'm getting at as well is seriously a suplex on the outside with a rookie.
Yeah, but one of the things with Gable Steveson was in college he was cocky and arrogant and loved the WWE, where Kurt Angle wasn't a huge fan of the WWE. So maybe this is Gable trying to show that he's more than that wrestler that everyone thinks he's going to be.
All right, and now I got to go to you one more time because this is your question. You have to ask me a question about Philly with Steveson. You wrote it, pal. We can come back to it.
Oh, do you think Philly would love if Gable made his debut in Philly, how do you think the crowd would have reacted to it?
If they were booed here, he would be booed there. That's all I got to say about that. We will boo my son does not get it. I do cheer the heels. I do. And you know what? We turned Alex Kane babyface in Philadelphia. We turned him babyface. He was not a babyface. He was a heel. Alexander Hammerstone was the babyface. We switched it months and months ago. Alex Hammerstone, he had to change his whole thing. He had to change it all because we were into the, it doesn't necessarily have to be a heel. It has to be the hardworking guy. It has to be the guy, the gritty guy. Gritty, as in the Philadelphia Flyers gritty guy. We get behind that guy. We don't want the glitz and glam. We don't want the Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah,
we want
fuck Santa. Let's snowball that asshole.
Santa was drunk. Let's not forget that. But yes, he would have been destroyed for sure. So Baron throws Gable into the post. Crowd is very disrespectful to Steveson. Again, Gable into the post. Devyn, I got to go back to you because I did have some mic questions here. So I'm sorry if you guys are getting back-to-back questions. I got a weird one. When a crowd hijacks a match like this, do you think they realize that they are actually disrespecting both competitors? What I mean by that is Corbin wants to be the heel.
I don't know. I don't think the crowd really thinks about the wrestler's feelings.
But what I'm getting at though is they know they're pissing off Steveson, right?
Yeah.
But the whole point is that Corbin is supposed to be getting heat on Steveson. And if you're rooting for Corbin, I mean, James, Adam, you can jump in on this. What's happening?
So on the last match we just watched, if you listen to the commentary between Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler, Jim Ross makes a good point. The fans pay their money to come in and they can do boo and cheer who they want to.
I know, but when they hijack a show, like when they say what 500 times, or they're just doing something to do it, not because they want to, just because they want to piss people off.
I wouldn't say this one was necessarily hijacked, but I did put in my notes, and I meant to cover it earlier, but this would be better time than any. Baron Corbin chant, you never hear that.
Never,
so
never.
I think it is one of those. Well, here's the thing, though, is kind of the Kurt Angle deal. We've heard about this guy being signed for multiple years now, and he's made like what 2 appearances ever, and then we see, okay, so I'm supposed to cheer this guy? Nope. I mean, that's wrestling 101. Like, I know they tried to make him the face, but kind of what we were saying about the Philly crowd, which is the Texas crowd, by the way, pointing that out. But yeah, when you come out like, hey, you're supposed to cheer this guy, everyone's immediate reaction is nope, because that's like somebody walking up to you like, hey, man, listen to this song, dude. Listen to this song. You'll like it. And they play it, and they're just staring at you like, huh? You immediately hate that. Like, so I think it's one of those, like, you're predetermined, like, well, fuck this.
Well, let's go back to this, James, because I can't get past it. Now, you got Corbin, who's been booed forever. Now, we have an aggressive Corbin here. Isn't this a Corbin you can get behind?
But it is. You know why? Because that new entrance. Everybody got so impressed with this burning ship and all this stuff that they were like, oh, it's a new Corbin. Boom, started cheering it.
But my problem is that you're trying to create a baby face with Steveson and Corbin, who's been a heel forever. Now you're bringing out this Corbin that people might actually like.
Exactly.
I think it's too much like Seth Rollins and they'll burn it down, burn the ships. I think they just correlated it with that too. Let's just go with that.
Everybody hates Corbin. He's been booed forever, but now you're bringing out this aggressive
guy
not cheating,
a new video thing, and all this.
Not cheating.
Like, oh,
he's got no help from anybody. He's just working hard and trying to win.
Maybe it's like that. Maybe they just got tired of seeing the old happy Corbin and bum-ass Corbin crowd. They're just happy to see the Baron Corbin that we're used to see.
But why are they facing him? Why is he facing Steveson? Why isn't he facing somebody else? Why are we getting heat on Steveson with this brand new presentation of Corbin?
Because he's an arrogant Olympian.
It's just weird, right? Hey, but he wasn't being arrogant. He was coming out as a badass to me. He didn't show me the way Kurt Angle did.
The video package was awesome. The video package for Gable before this, sweet. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. And then the crowd's just like, boo. I don't get it.
So anyway, that's a rant for sure. Felt like Mike for a moment, huh? Corbin back in on the offense. Corbin chants. Corbin picks up Gable on his shoulders and drops him face first off the top rope. Adam, are they making Gable look weak at this point or building Corbin back up?
They're building Corbin up.
Mm-hmm. Crowd firmly behind Corbin. I can't even read what I wrote, but what is going through Gable's mind, Devyn, when the crowd is acting like this?
I think honestly he's I bet he's not freaking out too bad. I bet he's listening to to Baron Corbin, trying to get through the match. They'll address it in the back and go from there. I feel like this is just his first match. Go through it.
I would imagine that Corbin's like, hey man, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Like,
If
hey, man,
whatever
they're booing
happens,
you,
just
so
embrace
let's
it.
just go with it. Like, I got you.
I'm gonna
Just
get to
embrace
that.
it.
I'm gonna get to that, Adam. Suplex City by Gable, very Brock Lesnar-like, which I love. Both on the outside, clothesline onto the outside to booze. Devyn, who do you think was going to win at this point, or even before it started?
I 100% thought Gable Steveson was going to win this
And
match.
why wouldn't you? Why the fuck wouldn't you? Right?
But here's the thing, though. It's his first match, but it's Baron Corbin's new persona.
Yes! It
So I think
makes
that's-
no sense that they're wrestling each other.
I think
You
that's
have
why we
a
got
guy
the finish
you're
that we
making-
did.
You have a guy in his first match, and you have a guy that you're building up again. It only made sense for it to end the way it ended, but why? I don't know.
Because this is his first. Because this is Stevenson's first match.
There's
and
1,000 wrestlers.
But who was in NXT at the time could lead him to a good match?
Oh, there's plenty of. You could brought in Dolph Ziggler again. You could have, but yeah, he was. Just
Yeah,
there.
but they already had a storyline going from NXT though.
I got
They,
it. I
these
get
guys have like the NXTs before this. They were already building to something.
Brawling on the outside. Big reaction from the announcers. The ref is counting, and we have a double count out.
But did you hear how much faster the count was right here?
Oh yeah, when the ref's ready to count, he counts. We know that. Right? So the crowd hates it.
This is bullshit.
yelling, this is bullshit. So Gable dropping the straps now, I don't know, like a bunch of wrestlers do, right?
Like Kurt Angle
And-
used to do.
Yeah, and the crowd boos him. James, should WWE embrace this reaction, or is it just the rowdy NXT, AEW, indie type crowd?
No, I say embrace it. Turn Gable heel and let him run through everybody.
Thanks, James.
When they have a rematch, pay attention. I think the entrances will be slightly skewed to the way this crowd was reacting.
Oh, so let me ask, so James, you actually think that if this was done at SummerSlam, do you think it would have gone the same way with the crowd reaction?
See, I don't know, because NXT is they concentrate on the NXT product. WWE is kind of more of a wider scope to where they would be like, oh, Olympic gold medalist, I'm going to cheer this guy, but with NXT, their fans closely follow the product. It's niche kind of, as some would say.
Kind of like AEW, correct?
Yeah. So they would be in the know, be like, no, fuck this. But on the wider scale, I bet you he would be cheered. I mean, hell, he did like a suplex or a belly to belly on somebody at WrestleMania or something, and everybody just exploded.
So Devyn, you had a problem with the count out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I was not a fan of this. I feel like Gable should have been given the victory. It's his first ever match. They're trying to push him.
Do you maybe think we wait another night to make Corbin this new character?
Yeah, 100%. I'm with you guys too on I don't think Corbin should have been put in this spot. He's trying to put over this new character. Okay, give Gable someone that he could get an easy victory over and someone that could guide him through this, like a Dolph Ziggler, someone at the same status as Baron Corbin.
So they're beating up all the security. This is extremely intense. They can't stop these two. Corbin hard through the freaking barricade. Hard. And then
hey, you got to give a shout out to Gable. Yeah, this picture right here, Gable launched one of those security guards with that belly to belly. I mean,
yeah, he threw him halfway across the ring.
that one looked really good.
He weighs as much as Mike, though. I mean,
hey, look good though. But I do want to say, what if? And granted, this is a hypothetical thing, but I think if you do have Corbin win this, you should have. I know it's a count out, but if you don't have Gable win, I should say, you should have had Corbin do some bastard ass heel shit, like steal a victory. That way Gable feels robbed, and maybe that would have helped the crowd reaction,
I think Corbin in this situation, I don't know what happens when he goes back to the main roster, did a face turn. I mean, at least a tweener, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't cheat. Nobody helped him.
I'm telling you, that new presentation, people cheered it because it was
badass. New. It's badass. So big boos again to Gable. Now, Adam, one more question. because Roman got booed out of the building in Philadelphia for the Royal Rumble. Should Gable call Roman and see, hey, what do you think?
No, I don't think Gable's up to that challenge yet.
I don't know.
No,
I mean,
give him another year.
The Rock came out and it didn't matter at all.
I think as time goes on, we'll see. This is his first match, man. Roman had been shoved down everybody's throats by that time.
Exactly.
I know I talked a lot of shit here because I just thought the match was the two competitors in the match. It didn't make sense for them to wrestle each other because of what they were trying to accomplish by both. But I actually thought the intensity was good and the match was good.
Yeah, Meltzer's rating, you'd think it'd be like a botch fest or something, and it wasn't. It was pretty smooth.
No, these guys brought it. So that's all the.
And I think what they wanted to do with Steveson too, they wanted to put him out there with somebody with a name to make it more like a more gotta see match. Yeah. So they're gonna debut this guy. Let's do it with somebody with a name.
And he's pretty yoked out too, like.
Yeah, plus
big old dude.
Corbin's a good dude to go up against because he's a good veteran.
So I do have listener questions if you guys are ready.
Let's get to them. You can send your questions to @KickoutCrew, and we post on the Twitter, and you can or the X, I guess now, whatever. And you can reply your questions there, or you can send them on Facebook. You can do just reach out to us if you have a question that you want to hear on your show. That being said, Brad.
Yeah. Mike Gallagher, friend of the show, Mike Gallagher from the, as Mike Whitaker would say, the Zip Bro Codes. Has a couple questions for us.
But it is the Zip Code Bros, so we should promote them properly.
Absolutely. We always joke. They always do a great job of promoting us.
But our new listeners don't know that.
We appreciate them as well. So do you think Gable's ceiling is as high as Kurt's was?
No, I don't think he makes it to Kurt Angle status.
No, I absolutely think
you never know, though.
Yeah,
you wouldn't think Kurt Angle got where he was after watching that Stasiak match. So, I mean, you never know.
No. And if you
but granted, I would say the comedy Kurt, I don't know if Gable has that in him.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
Nobody thought that Kurt had it in him either, though.
Boy, and he, damn,
But he did. What do you think, Devyn?
Gable was really charismatic and really tried to play to the crowd when he was back in Minnesota, actually wrestling. So I feel like the charismatic and entertainment side, he's going to kind of come naturally. And then he does have a brother in the business, like Adam talked about last week. So might have a chance at a tag team or some future storylines down the road immediately.
Damon Kemp, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, he's got some charisma to him.
Oh, he's good. Yes. He's real good.
So I definitely think the ceiling is probably higher or just as high as Kurt Angle's.
Good. For those of you that don't watch NXT, he was in Kemp was involved with the brothers on the show. Do you remember the brothers there?
Diamond
Mine, yes, he was involved with them, and he was good. And then he turned on him, and then they kind of just stopped using him, but he's back now. So looking forward to everything they all bring. So better moment by Michael Gallagher. Milk Truck or Sexy Kurt?
Milk Truck.
Sexy Kurt.
Man, they're both good. They're both so good for different reasons.
I'll make your ankle hurt. Ankle hurt.
With Sherry, that is pretty awesome.
I will say this, Kurt's is the Milk Truck. He loves that moment. He loves it so much. He talks about it all the time. He loves Stone Cold.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Milk Truck just because of that, but they're both good. Devyn, what'd you say?
Milk Truck. I did love Sexy Kurt. That was pretty great, but I think the Milk Truck is just iconic and
they're both good though.
It was.
That is for sure.
Oh yeah.
Friend of the show, Brandy Wagner has a question. Dr. Tom always said that he never saw anyone attack the mat like Kurt Angle did. Now that the crew has learned to take bumps, fuck off, Adam. From Dr. Tom, no less. No, you didn't, Adam. Do you agree with his assessment of Angle and his bumping? Do you see this in Gable as well?
Not yet.
You don't see the mat wrestling yet?
No, I don't see him attacking the mat like Kurt Angle did yet.
Man, he seemed aggressive to me.
I think
I gotta see a little bit more from.
Yeah, we do.
Gable.
I think Kurt was a natural, like, flat back bump, like, he did the moves But granted, Gable's new. But I think Kurt had no problem taking the flat back bumps, I guess. Like he attacked the mat in that aspect like pretty good. He wasn't afraid to fall on his ass pretty much.
What do you think, Dev?
I didn't do training, so I don't know how to attack the mat correctly.
Oh, for the love of God! All right, so
I can teach you.
oh yeah, well, yeah.
Thanks, Ref Adam.
Tom taught you so well in 13 seconds. All right,
It was 12 seconds, but it'll be 13. Okay.
So for those of you that didn't see the video of me, I took a flat back bump and did not throw my arms out in the air and just fell down. But it's a lot to think about, and yeah, Kurt, and good for him. I mean, he's an athlete. I'm half an athlete at best. You know, at best.
Half is pretty friendly.
I can make free throws. All right, one more question here from Adam Jefferson, also part of the Zip Code Bros. Based on the crowd at Great American Bash, Gable seemed DOA, but Angle theorized that Gable trying to be a copy of Angle is how WWE will make Gable a heel to start off. So is Gable dead on arrival or being a heel by copying Angle? Well, that's a mouthful, huh?
Perseverance, man. It's up to you to, make yourself. And that is the thing about live crowds. Like, yeah, they may boo you, but moving forward, what do you do with that? It's up to you to do something with it. You can boo-hoo, wah-wah, why don't they like me? Or you can just play into it and just work them, because, hey, you got to do the crowd. So if this is what they want, then this is what, do it to the best of your ability. And he's got talent. It's not like he's going to just flatline. I don't know if dead on arrival, but he did get booed. I mean, we did watch one guy get Die Rocky Die, and he blew the fuck up to one of the best ever. So
and the thing about that,
pretty much,
that reaction is different than this reaction to me. That Die Rocky Die was like go home heat, like as they always say. Where this, I don't think was. I think they were true boos, which is a good reaction.
Like they always say, like JR says on his podcast, at least they're reacting.
And I think that he is not copying Kurt.
No,
I don't think he's copying Kurt at all. I think we'll wait and see, but I think he did pretty good, and I think
the crowd thinks that though. I think that's one thing you're gonna have to disassociate. Like, hey, we're not doing Kurt Angle 2.0, and I think that's the thing he's gonna have to work his way off of.
I did not watch NXT last week. Did any of you? Because I didn't know if he came out and got a reaction. I'm like halfway through. I can't keep up, man. I'm a DVR guy, just like Kevin Nash.
No, I haven't got to get out yet.
I will watch it all, but I haven't watched it all. I'm just saying, man. It's a lot of wrestling on a week, isn't there?
It really is. Remember when it used to be like 2? And now it's like, if you miss one day, you're just fucked.
It's every night of the week except Sunday unless there's a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
He was on the show, Brian. Brian, you want to jump on for a minute? What did you think, Adam, of this question?
Oh, I don't think he's copying Kurt that much. I mean, no more than he can because he's an Olympic gold medalist. He comes out with his gold medals. I mean, I don't necessarily think that's copying Kurt because
but they are both gold medalists. I mean,
yeah, but I would do the same thing if I had a gold medal. I'd wear that Joker out there.
Brian, how was the reaction to him?
He was not on the show. I think they're holding him off to try to get the reactions a little better for him.
Okay, I read you wrong. I apologize.
So, but question for the crew, because I was going to type it in the chat anyway. Question from Bryant. Do you think that so Kurt is another example, much like Gable, the crowd turns on him. Do you think the Olympians who come in should come in as natural heels, or do they baby face try to be that white meat baby face for the crowd?
No, natural heel.
See, I don't agree with that. I think every character is different. Every person's different. You got to play to their strengths.
I think if you just present them as that, then they'll probably be natural heels because people do them. Yeah.
What was that, Devyn?
I think presenting them as the red, white, and blue, all blood American. I feel like it's a perfect opportunity and perfect way for them to start and just see which way the crowd's going to react. Because if by chance they love it, he's already got a gimmick. He can keep running with it.
But I just don't think that's what they were going for. Yeah. I think they were going for the cheers.
I think they were trying to make him out to be that all-American baby face.
And it just shit in their face.
Yeah. Well, I think they blew it with this new presentation of Baron. They blew it with that because they're presenting a brand new character of Baron that you can get behind. It was a weird thing to do, but I still like the match. But Anyway, that's it for the questions, everyone.
Hey.
Thanks, everybody, for the questions. We appreciate them. Keep them coming.
And you can keep them coming at Facebook at Kickout Crew and at Kickout Crew on Twitter.
Thanks, Bryant.
And shout out Brian. But
we're gonna do that here and there. That's fun.
You know what else is fun, Brad?
What?
It is the hottest rising segment in podcast today. Not
How long
only,
is
it's
this
on
shit
the
going to
outline.
be rising? I mean, damn.
not only in wrestling, but in everything. You know it. I know it. And hey, new fans, you're going to know it. And you're going to love it. That's right. It's Waka 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 with Adam. So, Adam, take it away.
So next week, we start Diarrhea Awareness Month. Runs until Friday.
Ah.
It's probably going to be
Waka,
next
waka,
Friday,
waka.
really.
Usually just runs down my legs.
As long as it's running, it's all that matters. I asked my friend Sam to sing a song about iPhones. And Sam sung.
Hey, Waka Waka Waka.
So I'm starting a business to teach shorter people how to do math. I'm calling it Making the Little Things Count. And my last
Cheers,
one for the
Mike.
week says I had a guy come up to me trying to sell me a coffin. I said, hey man, it's the last thing I need.
Ah.
There it
Waka
is.
Waka Waka.
Took me a minute.
Literally.
Because it's literally the last thing you'll need.
Like,
It's so true.
No, I only had 4 this week. They were kind of short, and
Oh, come on. Just throw one more at us. Come on, pal.
I ain't got
time.
nothing
You
to
got one
do.
more.
Come on, just say something funny.
Okay, all right. How about this? Okay, well here you go.
I knew we had something.
No, I mean,
Oh,
friend of the show, Randy Elcroy sent me one.
oh boy,
well,
howdy.
then why are we helping? Why are we-
I haven't opened it yet, so I don't know what it's
Well,
going
let's
to
just
be.
see how bad it is, huh? Let's see if it's kid friendly.
This is not what is about to be said is not expressed by the Kickout Crew. It's strictly Randy Elcorai's words.
All right, here we go. What did one butt cheek say to the other butt cheek?
I'm split down the middle. I don't know why. I said
Together, we can stop this shit.
That was good, Randy.
That is my father. For those that don't know, shout out
That's
to my dad.
literally. He sent that to me probably, not even an hour ago. He sent it to me.
We got to
That's
get my
good.
dad on the network.
Once he can figure
Hilarious.
out how
That
to,
would be.
we just got to get him on here. We got to start him on the show. Know
Yeah.
him trying to get on in the middle.
Old bones. But that would be cool to be like me and my dad on a network, right? Wouldn't that be something? It'd be crazy.
No, thanks, Randy.
Thanks, Randy.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Well, hey, Brad, do you like the Olympics?
You know what? I don't like my segment, but we're gonna do it anyway.
You can always change it because that's the beauty of your show.
So, all right, let's talk about Olympics. All right. So
Let's
I
do
freaking
it.
sent a text out. No one answered it, but Devyn. Thanks, guys. Always appreciate that. What is your favorite Olympic movie? So out of these two movies, which one do you
Oh.
like? And if you have a third option, give it to me. Is it Cool Runnings or is it Miracle?
Haven't
We
seen
all
either
know
one of
we-
them.
You haven't seen either of them. You're such an asshole.
What? Feel the
They're both
rhythm.
they're
Feel
both
the
tremendous.
rhyme. What? Cool Runnings is an amazing movie. I'm talking amazing movie. You want to talk about never give up and perseverance? You watch that, and you'll be cheering for them fucking Jamaican bobsledders by the end of it. You're like, fuck it. Finish the job. Yeah. Hey, Cool Runnings is awesome.
I like Rudy. That's a never give
That
up
is
movie.
not an Olympic movie.
What? John Candy's in it. Shout out.
Shout out. Did
Frankie
you
B. Frankie B loves him some John Candy.
did you see Miracle, James?
You know what, Brad? I didn't live it because I wasn't born yet, but I know the
Of
story.
course.
I don't need
Well,
Kurt
it's-
Russell to tell me how it went. I know this.
They're both excellent movies. Devyn, which one is your favorite movie?
Miracle on Ice. That happened up here near me at Lake Placid, New York. So I've went to the facility a couple times, so I've watched the movie probably 10 times.
You were born on what, the 30th anniversary of it?
Yeah, right. Like, what are we doing? I was 4 years old when it came out, so what could you possibly be? Or when when the actual thing happened.
Not alive
anyway,
yet.
It is a cool story, you know.
Everybody at home, please watch both of them. They're tremendous movies. I
do like cool runnings, though.
Both true stories. A Jamaican bobsled team, guys. There's no ice in Jamaica. Okay?
At all.
So
I don't even know if they can freeze the water to make ice in Jamaica.
The story is this: 3 sprinters like run over each other at the tryouts of the Olympics. So because they're so pissed off that they didn't make it in the 100-yard dash or whatever it was back then, they decided to be on a bobsled team. That's it.
Well, you kind of got recruited because they were like, "Hey, man, if you can run and jump in this little thing, you guys will zip through everywhere."
So
anyway, they're both about a the little engine that could type stuff, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So
without looking, what year did that come out? Without looking,
I'm going to say 1996.
What do you, Devin? What do you think?
87.
James?
93.
Bingo, 93.
That was the
year.
Sounds
about right in my childhood.
That was the year it came out, 93.
Feel that right.
So Brian,
they're praising the bathtub and all this stuff, and it's like, Stanka, you dead? No, I'm not dead. Oh man, that movie. And then I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but
spoilers, 1993.
And it is a true event, I guess. But hey, man,
the miracle was 2004.
They picked that fucking thing up and they finished that race. I mean, because when life gets you down, just kick out of 2, baby. And they didn't let that shit get them down. They picked up that fucking bobsled and they walked it across the fucking finish line.
The Swedish team loved it. Swedish team loved it. And they were the jerk-offs, right? They were the villains, the Swedish team, for some reason.
Yeah, right.
What, the Mighty Ducks, but for bobsled?
Wow, Mighty Ducks.
That's like Mighty Ducks 2. That's my favorite.
That's an Olympic movie, right?
Yeah, when the Mighty Ducks are Team USA.
Yeah, that's my favorite, Mighty Ducks.
Kids Olympics.
They get Benny
right?
the Jet to come play with them.
So Brian also said,
Knuckle Puck. Yeah, the Knuckle Puck.
Yeah.
Hey, and that guy, the guy that played the big dude,
the dude from Pete too,
because he had a rough go, and he's on the up and up now.
Yeah, that is true. So Bryant mentioned the Foxcatcher and Tanya Harding. Hell of a story.
Yeah, the Foxcatcher.
He did not. Unfortunate story for the Foxcatcher, but Tanya Harding kicked out at 2. She's doing good now. She was on Dancing with the Stars. I cheered for her. Everybody makes mistakes.
Why?
She was she moved on, and I root for her now.
That's true.
So what's your favorite Olympic sport as far as the Olympics or as far as the Winter Olympics go? And if you need me to name them off, I will.
We don't have that much time.
Oh, we do. We don't have time for the summer.
I like curling.
Curling is the answer, and it's the only answer.
Yep.
Curling, Brian says.
Everybody is curling.
Yes.
I don't know why curling is the best. Is because some drunk guy made it up in his backyard, and that is a fact. Let's get on the ice, let's get some squeegees, and let's just start doing it.
You gotta get it close enough, but hey, we don't have our shuffleboards broken, so let's just do it on the ice. Fuck, we got ice.
You have brooms? Squeegees. Good enough. What a bullshit sport, right?
Dude, and the U.S. team at the last Olympics looked like you went out to a fucking 4 random dudes and be like, "Hey, you guys busy? you trying to make a couple $100 bucks?"
Well, that's another question I have about some of these sports. Is the guy on the skeleton or the luger, is he really the best in that sport, or is he the only one doing it? Like, it's obviously not the same as playing basketball against Michael Jordan, is it? Like, where do you learn to luge at? Do you have a luging area? Do you have a luging area over there in Melbourne?
You seem like a loser, Brad. You should know.
I am a big loser.
Soy un perdedor.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that was a freak. I teed you right up.
But hey, here's the thing, and I don't want to get down this rabbit hole, but that's kind of how like men's U.S. soccer is like. Boy, this is gonna sound bad because Pulisic is a badass. But a lot of our best athletes are playing other sports. So yeah, because a lot of international best athletes are playing soccer, but a lot of our best athletes are playing like football, basketball, baseball.
Right. Different world.
But shout out Pulisic, he's a badass.
So, all right, what's your favorite summer sport?
100-meter.
Devyn?
The javelin. Gotta
Adam?
launch himself over.
Ski shooting.
All right, women's beach volleyball.
I'm not
Sorry,
touching
guys.
that one.
We can't.
Oh yeah, I
Can't.
can. They went away. I can. I can, and I will.
Hey,
Anyway,
shout out
there's
to men's basketball. That's kind of my favorite Olympic summer sport because USA.
What do you think of that horse thing where they were like they dance around a little bit, the equestrian thing? It's not even like they're jumping; they're just kind of like dancing out there. I mean, what about what Will Ferrell?
Women's
did?
gymnastics, we fucking run the game on
Nah,
women's
that's good
gymnastics.
stuff. That's good stuff.
Shout
No,
out
it's fun to
Simone
watch.
Biles is back. So good luck, world.
How about the rowing? Huh? The rowers, the boys in the boat.
Stroke, stroke,
Stroke.
You want to talk about some strong ass guys and
Bro.
girls for that matter.
endurance.
And how
Well-
skateboarding is an Olympic sport.
Water polo.
Marco,
Polo.
Wait till they add games, and we're gonna be like,
and then there's still table tennis, otherwise known as ping pong.
Ping pong.
Shout out to Forrest Gump.
If WWE 2K23 is in the E games at the Olympics, I'm entering that sucker.
Back to you, James.
Yeah.
That's all I
that
got,
was some
guys.
gold medal shit right there.
Just wanted to talk a little bit about the Olympics this week.
I
We'll
like
be
it.
back to your regular scheduled programming next week.
And that's Dougie Doug in this movie. Oh, okay.
Speaking of regularly scheduled programming, what are people watching these days? That's something that Devyn's demographic could help us with. So, Devyn, what you got, for us?
This week I was scrolling through the TV, and I stopped on True TV. I just watch that every now and then. So I was watching Impractical Jokers. On after that was
Great
Tacoma
show.
FD. I'm just
Yes,
sitting there
yes.
watching it.
Please tell me you watched it.
Every now and then I watch that show. It's pretty funny. They have some jokes and stuff. I'm just watching it and I'm like, I think that's Dexter Loomis. So I look into it. I search online, Dexter Loomis. Pops up immediately. Dexter Loomis on the next episode of Tacoma FD. So that's my demographic this week. Go watch Tacoma FD and you'll see Dexter Loomis, Sam Shaw, Indy's husband.
Season 4.
You gotta, he fits right in. He fits right in. Super Trooper shout out.
Right?
That's where it all stems from. The same guys, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Broken Lizard.
Broken
Yeah,
Lizard.
He's got
Dukes of
that thick
Hazzard, huh?
mustache and everything. Fits right in. If you want to hear him actually talk, check out Tacoma FD.
Oh, I don't know if I want that.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for him to talk. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Devyn.
Back to you, James.
Dynamite stuff. Really appreciate that. So, hey, but yeah, no lie. Shout out to the Broken Lizard guys. They've been funny for, years. And these
Shout out
schnozberries.
to the General Lee, huh? Dukes of Hazzard, right? Broken
Yeah.
Lizard. All right.
Well, are we cooking anything this week?
I'm not.
Someone's doing it, right, Devyn?
My
I was
stove is
said
fried
something.
due to the electrical storm, so I ain't even cooking shit.
So
Right
for
on.
this week on Mike's Meat Minute, he wanted me to talk about air fryer beef jerky.
You have my attention.
Mine too.
All he told me about it was he sent me a link. So here we go.
Thanks for being ready.
How to make air fryer beef jerky in the air fryer. Ingredients. What beef to use for
Hold
jerky?
on. Before you read this, does it really say how to make air fryer beef jerky in the air fryer? Is that really what it says?
Yeah.
Well, I can't read that, but I believe
Yeah,
you.
it's not.
That's like-
I don't know how to.
How to make pasta in a pot with pasta? How to make air fryer
I make
beef
burgers
jerky.
on a grill with a grill.
Do you have the recipe how to make air fryer beef jerky in an oven? What the-
Nope.
This
Sorry,
is what we
go
do to
ahead. That
Mike,
was
if
like-
you remember.
Yeah.
Well, you just got to get some tender beef, cut it up, and then you can use 3 different marinades of your choice. You can either use a teriyaki beef marinade, a smoked beef marinade,
Liquid smoke.
or a spicy beef marinade.
There it is.
And Mike will be posting all of the recipes for those 3 marinades on Twitter or X this week. So check out
I
Mike's
like how
Meat
y'all
Minute
throwing
on
up the
Twitter.
X. Shout out Des Bryant. Yeah.
Des dropped it, so
You
Awesome.
son of a.
that's Mike's Meat Minute. Back
Thank
to you, James.
Thanks for filling in.
Hashtag Des caught it, asshole. So I guess now that we've got us what to watch, we got us what to eat. What's next week?
Adam?
So I talked to a guy when I was in the locker room this past weekend,
Shocking.
and he goes by the name of Vinny Pacifico.
Nice.
So I'm working on
Yeah.
getting him in for next week. I mean, unless something changes, he'll be on. So look forward to that. I have a couple of matches picked out here shortly. And
Awesome.
we'll probably do a watch along style if y'all are cool with that.
Now, I believe he was just on the Kurt Angle show a couple weeks ago.
Exactly. He just got signed to a to energy drink.
Awesome. And
I think
moving
it's
up
G
from the
Fuel. So
Kurt
that's
Angle show
awesome,
to
man.
the Kick-Out crew. I appreciate that.
So he's going
Heck
to join
yeah.
us next weekend unless something changes. He is a busy man.
I can't wait to do that watch along style. That'll be
Yeah,
fun,
me
huh?
too.
Yeah, at least it's on here and not that other crap we used.
Exactly.
TBD on that. Well, I guess we got everything. We covered all of the stuff, and some would say, "My goodness, was this a gold medal episode or what?" I like our premiere on Premiere, and I think moving forward, this is going to be fun and just a great, partnership, friendship. Want to thank everybody for following along on today's episode, and well, hey. Not only should you subscribe to Premier Streaming Network for the beauty of our show, well, it's your show, actually. But you can see a bunch of other great things. But I will say this. If there's something that's just bugging the hell out of you and you just need to, kind of rant about it a little bit, that'd be something to brag to do, Rand Stanton. And that is at YesManBrad on Twitter. If you feel like watching some things, well, hey, Devyn is in the know and keeps up with those demographics. So that would be at DevynD19. And you feel like laughing, or is there just some things as an in-ring performer that you would love to discuss? Well, hey, we have not only a resident joke teller, but a resident person in the business. And that is Adam, which is at Adam_from_Bama. That's Adam from Bama.
Hey, and
Hit him.
you bring that up. I just did an interview with a guy that I've been really listening to in the locker room here lately. He's probably helped me more than anybody so far. His name is Patrick O'Malley. He's out of Tennessee. Not a big name guy, but he's only been doing it a couple of years, but really, really knowledgeable about refereeing and whatnot. It's a little 30-minute interview. I don't want to take his time too much because I actually pulled him from a training session he was given. So hopefully it drops here to come. It should be out by the time this is.
Oh, definitely will.
Okay, good deal. So it should be out. Go listen to that. Patrick O'Malley. Good listen, great guy. So hopefully y'all like that one.
And then a good Irish fellow, huh?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Patrick O'Malley. Love it. With apostrophe.
Adam does have a lot of interviews on our YouTube channel, which you can check out. Kick Out Crew on YouTube. You can get our previous full episodes, and you can get a lot of clips and a lot of bonus stuff that it's your show, so you might as well check it out. And our fellow compadre Mike, wasn't able to join us tonight, but he is part of the Kickout crew also, and he does the Mike's Meat Minute. So if there's a recipe you want to hear, or maybe there's a recipe you want him to talk about, that would be at Whitaker 1028 for your Mike's Meat Minute, recipes and suggestions. And as always, our powers combined, we are the Kickout crew, which, hey, aren't we all? But you can reach us at Kickout Crew on Twitter. And before we get going, I just want to say, we talk about gold medal stuff and gold medal athletes on this episode quite a bit. And do you think they were just undefeated forever? Or did they happen to face some perseverance in their life? And hey, maybe, it's not like they didn't take a couple losses, but what did they do? They never gave up. And they kicked at it too. Because that's what we do. That's what you do on your show. It's the Kickout Crew. Because always remember, when life gets you down, hey, just kick at it too. So I want to thank everybody for joining us this week. Be sure to, like, follow, and subscribe, and you'll be seeing a lot more of us. In fact, we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.